The story begins at the Philippine airport, where the most wanted criminals are being taken back to South Korea from the Philippines. As soon as these prisoners are about to enter the airport, a man from the crowd suddenly comes forward, screaming, and tries to reach one of them. Before the police could understand anything, the man presses the remote of the bomb hidden in his bag. The explosion is so powerful that many police officers and more than 30 passengers are badly injured. But the surprising thing is that all those prisoners do not even get a scratch. 5 years after this terrible incident, the preparation to bring those same criminals to South Korea begins again. This time, to avoid the last mistake, it is decided that they will not be sent by airship, but by a cargo ship. These criminals are so dangerous that a special commando team is assigned to bring them to the airport, and the entire area is evacuated from the common people. Every action is being monitored by a drone and satellite, because if a little mistake is made, an incident like 5 years ago can happen again. During the check-in, Officer Lee Seok kills a tattooed criminal mercilessly. In fact, there is already an old enmity between the two of them, and whenever Lee is angry, he takes out all his anger on this prisoner. This prisoner is Park Jong, who is not just an ordinary criminal, but has killed many people. And he has also done it with a girl, whose punishment he is now going to get in Korea. Meanwhile, you see another prisoner who looks very calm and innocent, but he is no one else but me, and you will not believe that I am the most dangerous person among all these prisoners. But no one has a clue about it yet. At the same time, a doctor arrives at the port with his nurse, who is going to go to Korea with us. On the other hand, Woong, who is the head of this entire mission, reaches the control room, and as soon as he reaches there, his people take out all the workers present and take control of the whole system. Meanwhile, all of us prisoners are put in the ship. Officer Lee, warning everyone, says that now we are in the middle of the sea. Don't even try to run from here, because if someone is caught, it is a direct order to shoot. On the one hand, all the officers take care of their own place. On the other hand, the doctor secretly fills some injections in his bag, and after that, without telling anyone, he slowly starts moving towards the basement. On the way, he meets some policemen, but the surprising thing is that no one doubts him at all. The doctor moves forward, and with the help of a secret map, reaches the part of the ship about which even the crew of the ship have no knowledge. Inside, some goons are watching a corpse called Alpha. We see that his eyes are sealed and an oxygen mask is applied to his mouth. This clearly shows that he is not dead, but he has been forced to stay alive in this condition. As soon as the doctor opens his mouth, insects are seen crawling inside, which makes him very disgusted. Then one of the goons tells the doctor, "Don't talk too much, do your job and leave." The doctor quietly does what he is told and gives the body an injection of unconsciousness. On the way, a goon reminds him that it is necessary to give this injection every 6 hours, otherwise Alpha will be alive, and if this happens, no one will be able to survive on this ship. On the other hand, all the prisoners were being fed. As soon as the food boxes are found, most of the prisoners fall on him. But Park Jong remains completely calm, as if he is waiting for the right moment. Then we see that there is a small piece of iron hidden in his mouth, which he had been hiding there for a long time. After a while, when the policemen move away from their place for a while, then Park takes out that piece of iron and slowly starts opening his handcuffs. Another prisoner sitting next to him sees all this, which gives him hope that maybe he can escape from here. Meanwhile, we see some people on the ship who are kept in the kitchen to work. One of them secretly breaks the locks of the prisoners, and then he goes to a room with his companions where there are a lot of weapons. They pick up whatever weapons they find and quietly move forward. But as soon as they are passing by, one of them accidentally bumps into a pipe, which makes a loud noise, and the policemen standing nearby immediately become alert. His leader immediately lied and tried to handle the situation, but then a policeman's eye falls on his gun. Before he could understand anything or tell anyone, they suddenly attack and mercilessly kill the policeman. To erase the evidence, they hide the bodies of the policemen in the ship's freezer and then move forward. After this, they reach the cockpit directly and kill all the staff on board. Now only 2 people survive who could run this ship. These people break the telephone lines so that no contact can be made with any country. Then a man climbs on the ship and cuts the main line, which completely stops the location of the ship in Korea. While inside the ship, Officer Dian saw that there was no signal in his walkie-talkie. He tried to talk to his team, but when no answer came from anyone, he went up and tried to find out what was going on. On the other hand, a prisoner with Park was busy opening the handcuffs, but then his hand accidentally hit a pipe, which made a noise. After hearing the noise, a policeman came there. He saw that a prisoner had broken the lock, so he immediately came into action. But then Park attacked him from behind. He beat him badly and then broke his head and killed him. Park's other colleagues also reached the cell while killing the officers, and in the meantime, they killed so much that there was no limit to it. Park orders his people to kill everyone. Then he stabbed the officer in the heart and saw him die in agony. But he didn't stop there. Then he took off his pants and urinated on his body so that his heart could rest in peace. Meanwhile, Officer Diane Lee comes to the deck looking for him. As soon as he saw the doctor coming up, he immediately asked what he had gone down to do. The doctor was a little scared and started thinking of an answer. But then Officer Lee reaches there, which saves the doctor. At the same time, an officer sees that a man is coming down from the satellite tower and has an axe in his hand. He immediately understands that something is wrong, so he quickly runs towards the cabin. There, along with Park, all the prisoners are released, but now only Park is going there. Then one of them tries to be smarter and says, "Where are the police girls? I want to have fun with them." As soon as he heard this, Park shoots him without a moment's hesitation, and in a cold tone he says, "That's all mine." After a while they free me too. Park had known me for the last 10 years. He says it's been 10 years, but your face hasn't changed at all. After this, Park tells the rest of the people not to go by his face. If you think I'm bad, then after hearing what he's done, you're all going to pee in your pants out of fear. I wanted to go to Korea, but Park clearly says that now this ship will not go anywhere. We will all stay here now. Unaware of all this, when Seok reaches the cockpit with his companions, he sees that the whole crew's bodies are lying there. Before they could understand anything, the people hidden in the cockpit suddenly rain bullets on them. Some people are killed in this attack, but Seok, Daeon, and some other officers somehow survive. Then an attacker starts blackmailing them with a gun on the head of a crew member. His move is about to work when Daeon kills him very cleverly, and as soon as he gets a chance, Seok shoots him. The pilot was very scared, but he said that there is a satellite phone in the engine room which can be used to talk in Korea. Hearing the sound of bullets, the doctor gets scared and asks the nurse, "Did you also hear the sound of bullets coming from outside?" But the nurse is in a drunken state at that time, and she thinks the doctor is joking. She says, "I'll go and see." Then the doctor stops her immediately and locks the door. On the one hand, the police think that criminals are the biggest threat to them, and on the other hand, the criminals think that the police are the enemies of their lives. But no one realizes that the real danger is waiting for them below, because the Alpha wakes up by not getting the medicine of unconsciousness on time. Meanwhile, the Park moves towards the engine room with its people and kills all the workers on the way without stopping. As soon as they enter the engine room, they kill the remaining people and break the satellite phone. Now there is no way to contact anyone on this ship. At that time, the chief engineer says in fear that this ship cannot run without me. Hearing this, all the prisoners laugh because their intention was not to run the ship. They make fun of him and say that this is what your companions were saying before they died. The Park moves forward to kill him, but then I stop him and say, "It's too much now." The fight between the two of us is about to begin. That's when Seok surrounds us from all sides with his remaining team. The engineer says in fear that don't shoot here, but no one present there is ready to listen to anyone. The Park wanted him to kill Seok with his own hands, but even after being unarmed, Seok's eyes did not show any fear. After this, a very terrible fight begins between the two groups. Someone is cutting someone's throat, someone is breaking someone's head. In this chaos, a man tries to run, but then Alpha suddenly stands in front of him. Alpha kicks him so hard that his body parts break and break. Seeing this, everyone forgets their own fight and just keep looking at that demon. Alpha looks at everyone one by one, as if he is scanning them, and then picks up a knife and cuts people like a butcher cuts an animal. It seems that he has been made only for slaughter. He was just not told who to leave alive. He grabs a man's head and smashes his fingers so hard that his head is twisted. Everyone is trembling with fear, but I am not afraid of Alpha at all. When Seok tries to attack him, Alpha kills him mercilessly. Park shoots him one after another, but Alpha does not even get a scratch. On the contrary, his wounds were filling very quickly, which made it even more difficult to kill him. The rest of the people somehow managed to escape, but Alpha did not leave Park behind. Now both were facing each other, but the crazy Park still did not understand that defeating Alpha is not his cup of tea. Alpha breaks both his hands with a heavy hammer and then hits him again and again with the same hammer, making his head a mosquito. Before Seok could understand anything, Alpha catches him and his life is about to go. That's when I jump in the middle and somehow save his life. The witch shoots him, but Alpha's body is shaking so fast that it does not make any difference. His body is so heavy and powerful that an ordinary person cannot even move it. We all somehow save our lives and run, and I try to close a thick iron gate. Alpha tries to stop him with all his strength, and it seems that he will break the door. That's when I gather all my strength and kick him hard, and the door closes at that moment. Meanwhile, he tracks the ship in the middle of the sea with the help of a satellite. As soon as he sees the pictures, he realizes that something very big has gone wrong, and the prisoners have definitely taken over the ship. He constantly tries to ignore a man's call, but the situation gets so bad that he finally has to pick up the phone. On the call, his boss says in anger that, "Go on that ship and bring Alpha here." Wong tries to explain to him that this is very risky, but his boss gets even more angry after hearing this. Meanwhile, we see that there is a tattoo on the boss's chest, and exactly the same tattoo was also on Alpha's body. This makes it clear that Alpha is not alone who has a superpower. As soon as the phone is cut, Wong hits the power pole in anger, and at that moment we understand that Wong himself is a superhuman. Meanwhile, on the other side, the captain tries to leave everyone in the ship and run away, but as soon as he starts lowering the rescue boat, Alpha comes there. Alpha mercilessly kills the captain and his companion, and then breaks the rescue boat so that no one can escape the ship. The nurse present nearby hears the sound of a loud bang outside her cabin. She gets a little scared, but despite the doctor's refusal, she slowly starts moving towards the gate. As soon as she peeks out, Alpha grabs her neck and presses it so hard that the nerves of her neck burst. Seeing that terrible scene, the doctor's eyes burst. He understands that if he stays there even for a moment, his end will also be there. In this fear, he runs away from there with all his strength, and finally, Officer Seok bumps into me, who is wandering inside the ship looking for him. Seok asks the doctor, "What do you know about him?" In response, the doctor tells him everything. He says that Project Alpha was an illegal experiment run by a company called Yawn Genetics. Initially, this company claimed to make a pill that kept a person young for 10 years. But under the guise of this, they were making superhuman weapons. They were badly injured, but the doctor told him that he had left his first aid kit in the basement. As soon as he hears this, Seok says, "You guys go down. I'll go up and see if anyone is alive or not." Meanwhile, we see that some female prisoners have cleverly captured the officer keeping an eye on them. 2 more prisoners are guarding outside. Suddenly they hear that someone is kicking hard on the gate. Before they could understand anything, the gate breaks and jumps, and one of them falls on the prisoner. Alpha climbs on him and crushes his face mercilessly under his feet. While the officer they had tied up, Alpha also knocks him down with a knife. Those who survived, they try to escape by saving their lives, and those who could not escape, they have to face the cruelty of Alpha directly. Meanwhile, the doctor has reached the basement with us. There I see that the corpses of all the guards guarding Alpha are lying there, and bloodstains are scattered all over. Looking at the condition of the corpses, I understand how terrible the massacre must have been here. The doctor sees that his first aid kit is lying there. He immediately starts stabbing a prisoner's leg. I was also injured, but I hide my wound. Then the witch gets a secret file, which mentions the soldiers of the year 1943. As soon as she flips the pages, she gets a picture, and the witch immediately recognizes that he is the same man who killed everyone. The file tells that Alpha was born in 1911. That is, he has been alive for about 110 years. It is further written that in 1943, he was forcibly sent to fight with the Japanese army in World War II. In that war, he lost one of his hands, and when he was of no use to the Japanese, they imprisoned him, and they did a strange experiment on him. The doctor reads further. It is revealed that these experiments made humans extremely violent, and their power was 10 times greater than that of an ordinary human being. The Japanese wanted to use these soldiers in war, but something went wrong. After this, we are shown a flashback to the year 1943. We see Alpha, whose body was cut and brought to such a state that he could not be recognized. As soon as the operation is completed, the Japanese commander and his team start clapping while praising their work. But with the noise of the same applause, Alpha's heartbeat suddenly increases. Before the situation is handled, Alpha wakes up and one by one starts killing all the people present there. The soldiers fire at him, but soon they realize that he is not an ordinary human being. They had turned him into a demon. Alpha had become such a machine that no one could control. Out of fear, a doctor locks him inside and thinks he is safe. But Alpha directly shoots him in the head without seeing him, and he is buried there. How did Alpha reach this ship after this? It was a mystery in itself. On the other hand, Seok reaches the cell of the female prisoners, but she only finds corpses there. The prisoner was killed so much that she could neither run nor save herself. Meanwhile, some people save their lives and enter the lift. As the lift goes down, Alpha jumps on it and breaks its cable, which gets the lift stuck in the middle. After this, he tore the iron as if it were a piece of paper. He grabbed one and pulled it up and started pulling it. Seok was late in reaching. She helped the female prisoner get out of the lift, but it was not so easy to save the other prisoner. The prisoner also understood this. That's why he stopped Alpha to save them both. Soon the lift broke, and they both fell down several feet straight. The blast was so loud that his voice could be heard to the base cement. When Seok looked down, he was still alive. At the same time, Wong had reached the ship with his people, and before landing, his people put super soldier serum in their body, which gives them a lot of strength for a while. Here Seok, saving his life from Alpha, reaches the kitchen. He closes the door from inside and tells the female prisoner to hide in the freezer. After a while, Alpha breaks the door and enters inside. Seok keeps shooting at him, but not a single bullet affects him. Alpha picks him up and throws him in the kitchen, which ruins his condition. Still, Seok does not give up. He stabs Alpha in the hand, and when nothing happens to him, he starts biting him with his teeth. Alpha kills him mercilessly, but until Seok cuts his hand and separates it, he does not move back. Seok was not afraid of death, but in the end, Alpha kicked him hard and broke his neck, and he died there. At the same time, a faint voice comes out which Alpha hears. She pretends to be dead among the dead bodies. Alpha comes inside, but can't see anything because he felt his prey from the heat of his body. But it is so cold in the freezer that he does not know anything. He comes so close that his breath touches that woman's face. But then the sound of the helicopter is heard outside, and Alpha's attention is lost, so he leaves there. There, Wuln reaches inside the ship and sees the dead bodies all around and understands how bad the situation is. His soldiers search every corner of the ship, but they do not see any living person there. Before they move on, the female prisoner runs to them with the last hope and says, "Go quickly from here, otherwise he will come." But Wuln shoots him there without thinking for a moment. Hearing the sound of the bullet, the witch and the doctor reach there. Seeing the dead body in front, they understand that these people have not come to save them. The witch shouts immediately and says, "Put your weapons down and surrender." But Wuln unhesitatingly shoots him, and it becomes clear that he is not going to leave anyone alive. Wuln is about to signal his soldiers to kill the rest of the people, but then I will go ahead of super speed and stop them. Seeing this, Wuln is shocked and thinks, "Who is he?" He tears my clothes, and as soon as he sees the same mark on my chest, the emotions of his face change. He understands that I am one of them, and I came on this ship on purpose so that I can reach them. Wuln looks at me carefully, and suddenly he remembers everything. He remembers that years ago, two gangs had gathered together, where people from both sides had killed each other mercilessly. I was also among those who died. Wuln picked up all the corpses and sent them for experiment. I was the only one in many corpses who had been affected by their medicine. But when I did not see any movement, I was considered dead, and I was ordered to be buried with the rest of the corpses. After this, everyone was brought to a pig farm, and something was sprinkled on the corpses so that the pigs would eat those corpses as their fodder. At the same time, I came to my senses. As soon as I heard that there were talks of killing me, I killed everyone present there and ran away from there. Then I realized that I was no longer an ordinary human being. Still, I tried my best that no one would find out, and I lived in secret from the world. But fate did not allow it. Soon, Wuln found my family and killed my wife and son. From the beginning, whatever happened was all part of my conspiracy, so that I could reach the killers of my family and take revenge on them. The fight between the two of us was going on when Alpha comes there. Wuln shouts and says, "Just shoot him in the head and shower his soldiers with bullets." Somehow Alpha saves himself and kills everyone. Meanwhile, the doctor and the prisoner escape from there as soon they came out and saw that the helicopter was still standing there. They immediately went inside and placed a gun on the pilot's head and ordered him to fly. But this was their biggest mistake. The pilot shot both of them without thinking for a moment. And with this, all the ordinary people on this ship were killed. Now only meta-humans were left here. Inside, Alpha directly attacks Wuln, but he was not an ordinary target like the others. He shouts at Alpha, "You are too expensive. I wish you didn't have to kill. But it's okay, I got another one in your place." After this, Wuln breaks down on Alpha with all his strength and mercilessly cuts his throat and finishes him off. Now only Woong and I are left on the other side. There is a fierce clash between. We were equal in strength, but Woong had military experience that was heavy on me. Before killing me, Woong says in a cold voice, "Your son's face looked exactly like you." The same day, I remember when I killed him. As soon as I hear this, I go crazy with anger. I break down on Woong and stab him many times. Then I kick him with all my strength that he breaks the railing and falls directly into the sea. But I don't stop here. I also jump into the sea behind him and keep hitting him until his breath stops forever. After this dark night, when the next morning sun rises, a terrifying massacre on the ship now becomes a national headline. Meanwhile, we see Woong's boss, who himself reaches there and examines his new test subject. The scientist tells him in fear that so much pressure can prove dangerous, and it is impossible to work in this condition. But the boss says in a cool voice that there is no need to be afraid. Everything is under control, and we will never be caught. After this, he goes to a closed cell where a child is held captive, and the biggest truth of the story comes out from here. That day, Woong did not kill my son because he also had a superpower. That's why he was kept alive instead of being killed and was kept in prison, while I thought all my life that my son was killed mercilessly. Finally, we see that the fast waves of the sea bring me to a deserted beach. Looking around, I realize that I have reached Korea.